Hey people. So this year Riot announced that they're going to be giving away chromas for Victorious Graves for every queue that you get gold or higher in. That means one for solo queue, one for flex queue, and one for Twisted Treeline. Now before this was announced, I had literally never played Twisted Treeline before. But after reviewing some information from the Twisted Treeline subreddit, found that it's actually pretty easy to get gold. So I ranked up and never plan on playing this shitty game mode again. If you want to rank up, listen to this information. Twisted Treeline might seem pretty complicated as opposed to Summoner's Rift because of the 3 teammates in the 2 lanes, but the meta is actually going to be really similar. In the top lane, you're going to want to have a tanky bruiser that skirmishes well and is focused on winning lane. Some examples of this would be Darius or Alawi, and those are actually probably some of the best picks right now. You can either pick one of them or you can pick an AD carry that can just shit on every single melee champion, like Lucian or Caitlyn, someone that'll just make their life hell. In the bot lane, you're going to want to have some magic damage to go with the physical damage from your top laner. That means you should pick a mage with preferably good CC, does well in team fights, and can wave clear in case things aren't going well. This means picks like Anivia, Syndra, or Lissandra are all very good. In the jungle, you're going to want a good CC tank that can help your lanes and clear their camps well, meaning that you can pick Rammus, Cho'Gath, or if you're feeling like a meta slave, Sejuani. Overall, this game mode's pretty similar to Summoner's Rift. Camps are going to spawn at 135, you do not need to give your jungler a leash. Try to get a CS advantage over your lane and don't die to the enemy jungler. Keep in mind that that's a lot more said than done because there's no wards in this game mode, aside from some useless angel dust that Riot gives you that's on a 2-minute cooldown. A lot like Summoner's Rift, another big part of this game mode is snowballing. Unlike Summoner's Rift, this isn't done through 5-manning bot at 10 minutes. It's done through altar control. The altars are going to spawn at 3 minutes, meaning that as a jungler, if you finish your 3 camp clear at about 2:30, which you should unless you're about 58% of the ranked population, you can either gank, invade for the enemy altar, or back to get items to defend against an enemy invade. The buffs you get from these are actually pretty important. A single altar alone will give you plus 10% move speed, which, when you take into account that the enemy is probably going to get theirs, is probably underwhelming. However, if you get both of them, that's where the magic happens. In addition to getting the plus 10% move speed, and your enemy not getting their 10% move speed, giving you about 20% move speed.
Hang on. I got the same thing.
You get 1% health back on killing a minion or a monster, giving both your lanes a massive sustain advantage. Here's a spicy fucking tip. If you wait a quarter of a second, you can capture an altar while backing. Assuming you can get a few ganks off, keep control of the enemy altar, and use your advantage to take towers and get a gold advantage, you should have no problem looking for teamfights and grouping up to take the inhibs and finally the nexus. If you're having trouble sieging, either from a shit team comp or having too much wave clear from the enemy, you can group up to take Vile Maw. Vile Maw is Twisted Treeline's version of Baron. It gives a weakened buff and will spook nearby enemy minions as long as you're close by. Be careful when taking the Nexus tower. The 1 tower has a 2.5 attack speed. Now that you have a pretty basic understanding of the game, let's go through a few tips that I wish I would have known before I started grinding. If you plan on doing, there's actually a much stronger team comp. Just take away the top and jungle and replace it with a snowbally carry like Yasuo, Mordekaiser, Graves, or Master Yi, and then with a tankier support like Braum or Taric. The goal of this is to get both the top lane farm and the jungle farm to your top laner, so that they can reach a 2 or 3 item spike much quicker than the enemy can. After completing your 2nd or 3rd item, try to force a fight whenever possible to get your carry fed as hell and make the game unplayable for the enemy team. It should be noted that when you're queuing up solo, you usually can't get this strat to work, either because your teammates are too brain dead to watch my videos, or because Ardent Sensor just got nerfed. Alright, now let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this guide. Now every single Twisted Treeline guide will tell you that there's not one easy champion to pick for this game mode, but I'm here to tell you that they're fucking wrong. If you want to climb the gold on Twisted Treeline with no skill, pick Galio. Galio can be played in literally every single role in Twisted Treeline. Galio can wave clear just as good, if not better than some of the best mages. He can trade well into most top laners, or just stay back and farm. In the jungle, although his clear speed might not be the best, he can gank extremely well with his taunt and knockup. Not even to mention his ult. Now let's talk about that ult. His ult is broken on this game mode. The entire map is shaped like fucking Pickle Rick, so you can ult all the way from top lane to bot lane, or about half the map in lengthwise. On Summoner's Rift, what makes it balance is that you have to roam a bit before using it. But on Twisted Treeline, your laner can't ping their teammates, because you'll probably be on top of them quicker than Weinstein on an upcoming Atris. Also, looking at the planned buffs for Galio on 721, I think he's going to be pick banned in this game mode. Anyway, whether or not you plan on getting gold, Twisted Treeline is a really fun game mode, so why not give it a try before Riot removes it from the game entirely for no good reason.